Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. Today I have a double challenge for you guys. The first part of it is from Paper Issues Tic-Tac-Toe Challenge. The second part is Mercy Tiara's 27-day Scrappy Challenge for the month of January. This is Betsy's challenge, which was a recipe to use a photo of yourself, a dark neutral background, at least 2 pattern papers with distressed edges, mixed media, and some sort of pop of metallic. So I'm going with the Die Cuts with a View paper pad called Indigo, Craft, and Rose Gold. So that way I get my navy background, which was one of the options, and then I'm also incorporating that metallic pop early on just so I know that's covered. I'm also pulling in the My Mind's Eye blush collection, that 6x6 paper pad, which coordinates really well. So I'm distressing everything as I go as part of that challenge. I'm just making sure all of that is cohesive. So that takes me a minute. I speed up the distressing a lot because it's throughout this whole video. It was a little bit time consuming. But I decided early on I really wanted to try and do a minimalistic styled design, which is not usually what I do, but for whatever reason I really wanted to try it with this one. So I'm going to layer up a bunch of papers behind my photo, and then I'm going to go with this very vertical design over on the left side of the paper. I'm just trying to get a good mix of stripes and polka dots. I'm trying to mix up the creams, the blush, and the navy patterns so they're all mixed in a little bit. I also have a scrap of rose gold foiled paper that's just from Hobby Lobby. I like using that to die cut with, but I'm also going to use it in a few of the layers. I'm trying to use up a good bit of that 6x6 paper pad. It's been in my stash for a while, and as long as I'm using it with a paper that it coordinates with, I want to try and get a lot of it on here. So I'm pulling a lot from that My Mind's Eye paper pad. Everything I'm pulling from the Indigo, Craft, and Rose Gold paper stack, other than the background, is all scraps. So I'm just building up my layers. Even though I'm trying to finish up this 6x6 paper pad, I'm still gutting everything because I just can't help myself. And again, I'm just making sure I distress everything as I go. If I don't, I will forget, and then it just won't get done until the end, and I'll forget that I've wanted to do that. So just making sure I distress as I go. I'm just using my Tim Holtz distress tool. I thought these challenges went really well together though. I decided first to do the Mercy Tiara challenge, which is why I went straight for that dark blue background with the metallic pops. But once I saw the Paper Issues Tic-Tac-Toe board, the middle row had pattern paper, pink, and ribbon, and I was already using pattern paper in the color pink. So I really just had to add in ribbon to fulfill that challenge, so I'll pull that in later on, but I definitely wanted to try and knock out both of those challenges. And the video goes a little hazy here for a minute. I think I bumped my light so that it was kind of in the view of the camera, and it kind of made this hazy look go across the screen. But that'll clear up in just a few minutes. I'm not quite sure why it did that. But I'm just building up more layers. I just want a lot of small layers around this photo. There we go. And now I want to bring in a little bit more into that vertical aspect. I have this little scrap of that rose gold foil, so I'm going to layer that up with the pink stripe just to enhance that vertical design. I'm also going to snip those pieces that are going to be covered. And now I just want to make sure I do my mixed media before I stick everything down. So I'm just going with some Ranger white texture paste and this dot stencil. I just want to do it along that vertical line in the background. Just making sure I'm lining up properly. And this is where I pull in that ribbon. I really wanted some pink or white ribbon, but this was the only thing I had that kind of coordinated. It ended up looking pretty cool. It's a really like metallic-y, lacy looking ribbon. It's about 2 inches, I believe. So I decided I would just run that down the vertical. I'm going to put it behind those paper layers, but I'm just trying to get it measured correctly first. That's why I really like doing these challenges, though I would have never thought to incorporate this if it hadn't been for that challenge that made me use ribbon. But I think it adds a cool touch that I like definitely wouldn't have done otherwise, so I was excited about that. I just wrapped it around the back of the page with some adhesive, and I'm just going to put some washi tape over the back of it so it doesn't snag on anything when it comes in and out of the page protectors. And then I just wanted a little something to be able to sprinkle along the vertical, so I decided I would die cut some stars out of that rose gold foil. And I really like how that looks scattered up and down the diagonal. I was really thinking about using sequins. I didn't really have a good color that coordinated though. I found a dark color that I thought about using, but I don't know. I have such a hard time with sequins, and it's frustrating because I see so many people using like sequins lately and their projects are so beautiful, but it just looks messy when I try to do it. I don't know what it is. I have such a hard time, so I figured I would just do the stars and I'd be happy with that. I'm also pulling in these alphabet sets, a rose gold foil. That's from a paper kit. I believe it was Cosmopolitan from Paper Studio, but I had just enough letters to do B-Day. So that's going to be my title. I'm going to pop it right on the photo. This picture was taken outside my favorite restaurant in downtown Ackworth, which is Henry's Louisiana Grill. Awesome Cajun food. I love it. It's my favorite restaurant. But we were just waiting for the rest of our party to arrive. And so Marcus was taking pictures in front of this Coca-Cola sign, which is kind of an icon in our town. It's like a landmark almost. So we got some pictures out front, so I decided I'd scrap one. I had these little bits of doilies that I had cut off from previous projects, so I decided I'd get them used up on this page by just tucking them in here and there. That looks weird down there, so I moved it over to the other side and it looked better. And then I just thought it needed something on the other side. I didn't want to do a whole lot. I really wanted to focus on this minimalist design and keeping everything on this left side of the page. But I just wanted a little something. So I decided I would use my distress tool to chew in a little piece of that paper on the right side, and I would tuck a little peekaboo in with that vertical stripe. There we go. I didn't want to do a whole lot. I just wanted it to mimic some of the things on the other side, so I tuck in another scrap of a doily as well as a few of those stars. There we go. And I feel like that was just enough to pull a little interest over there, just so there was something else. And I'm happy with that. It's definitely different for me. I'm not used to my pages being so open like this, but I really enjoyed it. So glad I got Mercy Tiara's challenge done for this month. Thank you, Betsy. I had a lot of fun with this one as well as the paper issues challenge. So I have another Felicity Jane layout coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. I hope it's okay that I'm alternating them like this, but I didn't want to clump all of my How to Kill a Kit layouts together and then have like a whole gap through the rest of the month before my kit share video. So I think alternating will be fun. But yeah, so here's this layout, and thanks guys for watching. Bye.